Course of the last 10 days, but UMMATALIEV of Uzbekistan, another young fighter off that Uzbek production line. He didn't go to the Olympic Games, but he won the World Championships earlier this year, Asian champion last year, as well as winning at the Strandja, an Asian youth champion, a world youth champion in 2022. And in his semi-final took the significant scalp of Arlen Lopez, the Cuban #1 seed.
And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, making his way to the ring, representing Russia, Dzhambulat BIZHAMOV.
Or Dzhambulat BIZHAMOV has been to a World Championship final before. In 2021, Andy and I were ringside when he boxed all the way through to the gold medal bout at 75 kilograms, winning 4 contests out of 5. The reigning European Championship silver medalist, and here at the quarter-final stage beat a strangely passive Robert Akaka of the Kenyan hit squad. Very relaxed en route through to this gold medal bout. Very accomplished operator. He's been installed as the 3rd seed of the tournament.
Kazakhstan, Serbia, Azerbaijan, Tunisia, and Kyrgyzstan.
So the referee with the final instructions, that's BIZHAMOV on the right-hand side, UMMATALIEV on the left. BIZHAMOV in his semi-final in particular just made it very difficult for his opponent to land on him. He didn't at times throw all that much himself, but it was a kind of masterclass in reflexes. UMMATALIEV just quickly to the centre of the ring there, let go with a couple to the body. He's a southpaw, he's in red. And BIZHAMOV, who can switch, but will mostly box out of the orthodox stance, he's in blue. Good right hand on the inside there from UMMATALIEV, and then the left hand into the body was a good shot. He started with some pace here, with some urgency and with some accuracy. And BIZHAMOV just gets a hold of him, maybe just trying to disrupt that rhythm early on. The referee didn't call break originally, I don't think he did anyway, and UMMATALIEV just let BIZHAMOV have one to the body. Give that left hand there, UMMATALIEV. BIZHAMOV tucked up nicely. Referee just having a quick word with BIZHAMOV there about a touch of holding. Long left hand there from UMMATALIEV, landed, smile from BIZHAMOV, but it landed again there. He got his own right hand back, but as we head towards the midway stage of round 1, it's the fighter in red who has landed the more significant shot so far. There's that lead left again, and it gets there. It's not doing any damage, he's pulling back there, BIZHAMOV, and I think that landed too, and he's got to be careful of that because he just keeps getting caught. Right hand from UMMATALIEV, followed by that left. BIZHAMOV is finding it a little bit difficult to locate the target at the minute. Maybe he'll be better just trying to go down to the body for a spell. That left hand lead again is proving to be a problem for BIZHAMOV, who tries to let his right go and walks onto that straight left again into the final minute of round 1. To southpaw here, BIZHAMOV. Little jab to the body there from UMMATALIEV. Got caught by left as he closed in there, UMMATALIEV. And then through the left into the body again. And then it gets a bit untidy, as it has done in stages. But when it hasn't been untidy, the fighter who's landed the more clean punches has been in red there, just a wide split stance, really just springing from the outside, and there goes the bell.
first round, where right from the opening bell, UMMATALIEV pulled with some really eye-catching punches to the body, shoveled in a couple with the palm turned upwards just above the belt line, and they brought about a visible reaction from BIZHAMOV. Then he was having some straight shot successes upstairs, snaking out shots like that from his southpaw stance, and there's an example of the body shot we were just referring to. So BIZHAMOV with his own successes, but I think the greater number of successes came from the man in red, and I think he's done enough to take the round.
Well, the scores will come up in a second. Well, it's split. 3 for UMMATALIEV, 2 for BIZHAMOV. I think that is a very good result for Dzhambulat BIZHAMOV. We know how important it can be if you can get a couple of cards when maybe it looked like you weren't going to get them, and that looked to me like it did to you to be a clear round for the red corner. I didn't think it was hard to score, but BIZHAMOV has got his hands on a couple of cards there, so 3-2 split in the first round. Well, the referee giving them plenty of time to work it out on the inside. I think he might want to get in there a little bit quicker, because when they end up there, generally all it does is run down the clock. He's looking for a single left hand there, a left hand lead in UMMATALIEV, didn't land it, and again they just end up on each other's shoulders. And if I was a referee, I'd be tempted as soon as that happens now just to get in there and pull them apart, because we just lose a few seconds every time it happens. Bit of redness on the bridge of the nose there of BIZHAMOV, and the exchange on the inside, I don't think so either one of them really come out on top. There's that left-hand lead from UMMATALIEV, and it's very stodgy stuff in this second round so far, just over a minute in. Good looping left hand there from BIZHAMOV, that landed, and in a round like this, it could come down to a handful of punches really, as to who wins it. Because I don't think a lot clean is going to be landed, because we've just seen a lot of this. And I think this kind of dynamic suits BIZHAMOV better. Right hand on the inside there, landed up to the head from BIZHAMOV. I think the left to the body just before that from UMMATALIEV might have got there. It all gets quite frenetic, because I think they know it's only a matter of time before they end up in a clinch. And so when they're firing in the few seconds before that, it's almost like they know that is their brief window to try and land something into the final minute of round 2. A 3-2 split in the scoring in round 1. Right hand on the inside there from BIZHAMOV, unmistakably landed. And again, well, the referee taps him on the shoulder there, and generally I'm a fan of referees allowing fighters to work it out themselves on the inside, but I think this is one of those fights where it'd be good for us, for the spectators, if he just got it nice and quick. Good 1-2 there from UMMATALIEV. BIZHAMOV landed just before that. Now, can somebody go and grab this towards the end of the round? I've got BIZHAMOV with his nose in front here, but not much more than that. Left hand there from the big Russian. Final few seconds of what has been a little bit of a frustrating round to watch.
So the second round in the books, both men seeking to play counter-puncher for large portions of that round. When they weren't entwined in a clinch, they were on the edge of range, feinting, trying to get something in their favour. And as you pointed out during commentary, Andy, that low punch output, that paucity of scoring punches, I think brings the man in blue right into this, because I thought he was outscored and outworked and outboxed in the first round, but he managed to take a share of 2 of the cards, which I think is really unfortunate from the Kazakh boxer's point of view, from the Uzbek boxer's point of view. But with the low punch output, well, look at that, it's a clean sweep for the cards for BIZHAMOV.
And I don't have any argument with that. I think he won that round, but what we should have here going into the third and final round is a fight poised with 5 cards and 19-19. That's what we should have, and we don't have it. BIZHAMOV's got a good advantage here, but if he can get enough of this final round, UMMATALIEV, he can get it to bout review. And then those scores, those 2 other scores, we don't know where they stand, and they could be seeing it differently. They may have seen that first round differently. Anything is possible, but he's got an advantage here, BIZHAMOV, that much we do know. And again, as you say, he launches that right hand, he moves in, and UMMATALIEV, I think in these situations, could be doing a bit more just to try and get himself free, or demonstrate to the referee that he wants to get free, that he's finding it frustrating, and maybe just force the ref's hand a bit to get in there a bit quicker. Because he's initiated quite a lot of that holding, BIZHAMOV, but the referee at no point has really threatened to take a point or anything like that. A minute that this final round has slipped by. Three drawn cards. If he can get a couple of them, UMMATALIEV, he would take it to bout review. If he can get all 3 of them, even better, of course. BIZHAMOV can get 2 of them, and he will go through without any need for that review. Left-handed to the body there from UMMATALIEV, and then just backs off a little bit. And there's it left to the body again, and then does continue to let his hands go. That was a good exchange for him. But BIZHAMOV again just gets a hold of him, leans on him. I think there's a little bit of damage to the bridge of the nose, is it, that BIZHAMOV? That was turning a bit red earlier in the fight, but I think there's some blood now. I think that's happened to him quite a few times before, given the shape of that beak. Just over a minute remaining in the round, and they both just bang away to the body. Good jab there from BIZHAMOV. The referee hasn't seen the need to stop this and send him to the doctor. We're so close to the end of the fight. And it's UMMATALIEV who's leaning on, and it's this time the red fighter that the referee's having a little bit of a word with as the clock runs down. I'm not sure there's been a clear winner in this final round. BIZHAMOV just looking to make a bit of space and let his hands go. Same thing for UMMATALIEV. Ten seconds. And again, it's been messy in this third round. And they'll finish in a clinch, I think, which is rather fitting. There goes the bell, and just a reminder of the scores going into that final round. BIZHAMOV 2 points clear with 2 of the judges, and he will keep hold of those 2 cards because there's no way UMMATALIEV has won that final round 10-8. So then it all comes down really to those 3 cards that were poised at 19-19.
Very, very close final round, because it was a burst of punches to the body in the middle of the round for UMMATALIEV, and then a strong work on the inside by BIZHAMOV at the end of the round. So another close 3 minutes of boxing, but again, given the scores going in, I think it's going to be very difficult for the man in red to be declared a winner here. Because in the event that he has won it, he would have to convince those 3 specific judges
and now, ladies and gentlemen,
that he was the better boxer.
After 3 full rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards at ringside to decide our world champion. They see the bout as a win on points, declaring your winner by unanimous decision, and now IBA World Champion, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Russia, Dzhambulat BIZHAMOV.
So BIZHAMOV gets it by unanimous decision. It was a 3-2 split in his favour in that final round, and the way the scores worked out, that meant that he got every card 29-28. And one thing to note about that is that even if he got that first round 5-0, UMMATALIEV, he still would have lost the fight, because he would have been 3-2 down with the 3 scoring judges ringside. He would have gone to bout review, and they both had it. And looking at the scores now in favour of BIZHAMOV. So we didn't agree with the scoring of that first round. I don't have any arguments with rounds 2 and 3.
Indeed, a very close competitive affair. Punch output dropped, slowly the pace. Each man seeking to play counter punch, a burst of success on the inside for both. As Dzhambulat Dzhambulat received that World Championship gold medal and the check for $300,000. Very good tournament indeed for BIZHAMOV, getting his tournament underway.
And now, if
in the
you
round
are
of 32
able,
with that
please rise
over the
for the
man
national
from
anthem of our new world champion, Russia.
So an upgrade from 4 years ago in Belgrade, when he looked very, very impressive, but lost to a really good fighter in the final. Still 25 years old, there's an awful lot he could go on to achieve just yet, and he slowed everything down in rounds 2 and 3. It was clever stuff at times. Not great to watch, I'll be honest. He didn't really want to let the fight flow, but you do what you need to do to win, and he got enough in the first round. He got himself a share of that first round.